You've seen this before, right? The traditional sales funnel: awareness, interest, decision, close. We shove leads in the top, grind them through stages, and ta-da, a customer pops up out the bottom. But let's be honest, this funnel, it's focused on how we sell, not how the customer buys. It's transactional, it's linear, and worst of all, it ends right when the real opportunity begins. If you're a founder, operator, or GTM leader still measuring success by how many deals your reps close, you're missing the bigger picture. Because growth today is not just about acquiring customers, it's about retaining and expanding them. That brings us to something better. Let's talk about the bow tie. The funnel was built for a world you attract leads and convert them into customers. But what happens after the customer signs the dotted line? Is our job done? Hell no. In the world of SaaS and recurring revenue models, closing a deal isn't the finish line, it's the starting gun. The funnel tells you how many leads turn into customers, but it tells you nothing about what happens next. Do they activate? Do they find value? Do they stick around? Do they tell their friends? Customer retention, expansion, advocacy equals invisible in the funnel. And here's the kicker. The post-sale journey isn't a support function. It's a growth engine. Now, what I'm saying is not something groundbreaking. Businesses have been doing this since the Industrial Revolution. It's simple. Happy customers equal more revenue in your pocket. Now, let's take a look at the bow tie funnel. Now let's take a look at the bow tie funnel. Now picture this, same funnel on the left, marketing, sales, close, but instead of stopping, we extend the journey. We wrap around to the right. This is the bow tie model. It maps the entire customer lifecycle from suspect, lead, customer, all the way to when a customer becomes an advocate of your brand. Acquire, onboard, adopt, expand, advocate. And this right side, that's where the magic happens, because the biggest revenue unlock doesn't come from selling more. It comes from delivering impact, helping customers win, then turning that success into momentum. Success equals recurring impact plus recurring revenue. Here's the reality. CAC is up, budgets are tighter, and trust is earned, not given. Your best leads don't come from cold calls or ads. They come from happy customers who tell someone else. Your biggest growth lever isn't top of funnel volume. It's bottom up expansion. Let's take this for example. A startup lands a 10K deal. Then that startup expands that 100K deal and refers 2 more companies. Think about that for a second. I'll let that settle in for a second. That's a 10x revenue opportunity. Not by selling harder, but by serving the customer better. The bow tie model forces you to align your entire go-to-market motion around the customer experience. Because when you optimize for outcomes instead of outputs, you build a growth engine that feeds itself. Okay, at this point, I hope there's a light bulb turning on. If you found this to be valuable, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, because there'll be a lot more of this coming every week and you won't want to miss it. If you want to see a deeper dive into the bow tie model, register for our webinar that is coming up by clicking on the link in the description. All right, now think of it like planting a tree. The funnel is the planting phase. Dig the hole, drop the seed, water it. But growth, it's in the roots. It's what happens after you plant, nurturing, pruning, compounding over time. The bow tie model makes sure you don't just plant customers and walk away. You stay, you grow with them, and they grow with you. Let me explain. Let's dive into Lucid Chart real quick, and I'll break it down for you. Okay, so let's take a look at this bow tie model. So on the left side here, we have awareness. So here's typically when marketing is involved, right? And so the whole goal of marketing is to create awareness about who our brand is, what we do, and the solutions that we provide for that one specific problem for our ideal customer profile, right? So this is where the customer becomes aware of our product or service that we offer to make their lives better, right? Again, focus about the customer and think in their view, right? That's what this whole bow tie model is about. As we proceed through the customer journey, so we go from awareness, we go to education, and why I do these loops here is that the customer journey itself is not linear, right? The customer may come in through, let's say, LinkedIn, right? They come in, they sign up for like a webinar that we're hosting, right? That customer comes in, they submit a form, and they come right here through awareness, submitting a form, and now we're just educating the customer of what our product is, right? And that customer may attend the webinar, they may not attend the webinar. Either way, we have their information now. And so the goal at this point is to nurture them, educate them, and continue to stay top of mind, right? So that's when we get this looping function between these two stages here. So the customer may not be ready to move forward down the customer journey, and that's completely okay, right? So it's our job as a business to continuing generating awareness and reminding them that we are the solution to the problem, that and we have the steps to take to get them to the final result that they're looking for, right? So we have this looping function right here. And then let's say the customer comes back around. They attended our webinar before. They did not move forward with let's say a sales demo, right? But let's say we send out a bunch of nurturing marketing emails, and then a sales rep on our team reaches out to them via LinkedIn, and they're able to get a demo call booked with them, right? Or let's call it a discovery call. They get a discovery call booked from, and so right here in the stage, this is where our discovery call is, and then at this point, this is where the SDR, BDR, sales rep, whatever you want to call it, is going to jump on this call. And this is where we should truly understand who our ideal customer profile is, right? So we should have a set of questions to qualify them just as much as they're qualifying us through this section right here. And so on this discovery call, we should be determining, we run Spice, right? So first, we're understanding their situation. Like, why are they on this call today? Like, what and how can we help them? The second point would be pain. So what is their pain today, and how can we solve it, right? Third one is impact. If they don't move forward with a solution soon, what will be the result of and the impact of them not moving forward, right? Next is critical event. So is there a date and time that's coming up with the customer that they have to move forward fast? And then lastly is decision, right? Who is the decision maker? Is it the person that we booked the discovery call with, or is there a boss or someone above this person that booked the discovery call, right? So that's a framework that we teach SDRs, BDRs, and AEs, and even on the customer success side, but I'll talk about that for another time. Once we go through that framework, right, once we qualify the lead properly, we can then determine if they're the right fit for us or not, right? And by doing this, by doing a thorough examination of this lead that we just brought into our funnel, similar to when we plant a seed for a tree, we want to make sure that seed is good, right? The better the seed, the bigger and more healthy that tree will become, right? And it's the same exact concept with our customers, right? So if we have good customers that come in, they understand our process, we've properly qualified them, we can then move them down the customer journey where they become an opportunity. And then that's where we provide, maybe a deeper conversation about the product itself, run a demo, and then talk about, pricing and terms or whatever it may be, right? And at that point, if we can do that right, we can qualify correctly, then that's the start of growing an amazing tree, right? So we move them through this whole funnel, this traditional funnel here. And the bad thing about the traditional funnel is that we bring them all the way through, we close win them as a customer, and that's it, right? And that's what's so screwed up about the sales funnel, is that it doesn't just end here, right? Our customers are looking for an amazing experience, something that will be memorable, and so that they can tell their friends, right? And overall, they just want help, and they want to make sure that their pain that they have now, the challenge that they're trying to solve for, will go away. And as a result, their journey that they're on, they'll become the heroes at the end of the day, right? So the beautiful thing about this Bowtie model is that once we plant the seed, we bury it under the ground, we don't just stop there, right? So now we need to water that seed. So how do we onboard the customer properly so that they can use our product or service, so that they can see the impact that they signed up for originally? Similar to a seed. We water the seed in the ground, we start to see it sprout, those sprouts right there is what we want to see through this onboarding phase, right? They're getting it. They're seeing the impact. They're starting to grow with us just as much as we're growing with them, right? And once we properly onboard the customer, the next step is, how do we retain that customer? How do we continue to deliver that recurring impact so the customer can see the value that we're providing to them and that they can't live without us, right? So similar with the tree, we don't stop watering the tree. Maybe we have to give that seed some nutrients, right? That seed turns into a tree and it starts to grow, right? And over time, over this compounding effect and this recurring waking up every day to water this tree, to give it nutrients, it starts growing, right? And it gets healthier and healthier. Similar with our customers. The customers should be growing. The business that they're working for, or the business that they own, it should be growing with them as well into a healthy, sustainable business where they're feeling the impact from the service that you're providing, and they're growing, right? And they're seeing the results both objectively and subjectively, right? So once we can achieve that, then we are really touching on this retention component, right? And so similar with the education and awareness, how it loops, it does a looping effect all the way through. But once we are able to retain a customer properly, we can then start thinking about expanding this customer, right? So how do we expand the customer into selling another product or service that we offer that could help them, again, help the customer at the end of the day so that they will be successful in their story? What more products or services can we offer them so that they can be successful, right? So, and then there's an actual loop that goes all the way back to this awareness phase, because we're selling them a whole new product, a whole new service. And so the whole process starts all over again, right? We're generating awareness to them about this new product or service and how it can help them. We can start educating them, and then we can determine if it's the right fit for them, it's the right fit for us, mutual commit, onboard, and retain again, right? And it's this whole recurring effect, and it's this endless loop if we can retain these customers properly, right? And it's not linear. It loops all throughout this customer journey. So that's the bow tie. That is how it's compared to planting a seed, and it's all built around being customer centricity and how we can deliver impact for the customer so that they can grow better and we can stay with them for a long period of time. As a result, our business will grow exponentially, 10x. That's what we want. So how do you apply this? Start by asking, are you qualifying leads according to your ideal customer profile criteria? Are you bringing in high maintenance customers or customers who understand your proven process and as a result are easy to work with? What happens after the deal is signed? Who owns the onboarding? What metrics track customer value? When do you re-engage them for expansion? The best go-to-market teams today treat retention, expansion, and advocacy as core revenue functions, not CS stuff, not someday later, right now. Exponential growth equals acquisition times retention times expansion times advocacy. Here's my challenge to you. Stop measuring growth by how many people you close. Start measuring by how many people you will help win and how many of them would bet their reputation on you. The Bowtie model isn't just a diagram, it's a mindset shift. Growth isn't linear, it's compounding. So, which side of the bow tie is your team actually focused on? And what could happen if you shifted 10% of your energy to the right side? That's where 10x is hiding. If you're ready to uncover 10x growth, register for our upcoming webinar. Why your funnel is costing you revenue, the bow tie fix with HubSpot and Salesforce, and I'll wait. I'm still waiting. Click on that link in the description below right now. Do it. If this hit home, hit that subscribe button. My name is Colten Rodriguez, and thank you for watching. Let's keep building smarter, more sustainable growth engines so that the world can be a better place. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.